Good morning, class. Today we're going to talk about the history of Civil War. The team members of this presentation are Perla Berenice, Ivan Mason, and me, Jonathan Leiva. The Civil War was fought between the northern and southern states from 1861 to 1865. The American Civil War was fought between the United States of America and the Confederate States of America, a collection of 11 southern states that left the Union in 1860 and 1861. The conflict began primarily as a result of the long-standing disagreement over the institution of slavery. On February 9, 1861, Jefferson Davis, a former U.S. Senator and Secretary of War, was elected President of the Confederate States of America by the members of the Confederate Constitutional Convention. After 4 bloody years of conflict, the United States defeated the Confederate States. In the end, the states that were in rebellion were remitted to the United States, and the institution of slavery was abolished nationwide.
Lincoln was the President of the United States during the Civil War. Lincoln grew up in a log cabin in Kentucky. He worked as a shopkeeper and lawyer before entering politics in the 1840s. Alarmed by his anti-slavery stance, 7 southern states ceded soon after he was elected president in 1860, with 4 more states to soon follow. Lincoln declared that he would do everything necessary to keep the United States united as one country. He refused to recognize the southern states as an independent nation, and the Civil War erupted in spring of 1861. On January 1, 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which freed the slaves in the areas of the country that shall then be in rebellion against the United States. The Emancipation Proclamation laid the groundwork for the eventual freedom of slaves across the country. Lincoln won re-election in 1864 against an opponent who wanted to sign a peace treaty with the southern states. On April 14, 1865, Lincoln was shot by assassin John Wilkes Booth, a southern sympathizer. Abraham Lincoln died at 7:22 a.m. the next morning.
The Civil War began when Southern troops bombarded Fort Sumter, South Carolina. When the Southern states seceded from the Union, war was still no certainty. Federal forts, barracks, and naval shipyards dotted the Southern landscape. Many regular Army officers clung to their posts rather than surrender their facilities to big growing Southern military presence. President Lincoln attempted to resupply these garrisons with food and provisions by sea. The Confederacy learned of Lincoln's plans and demanded that the fort surrender under threat of force. When the U.S. soldiers refused, South Carolina bombarded Fort Sumter in the center of Charleston Harbor after a 34-hour battle. The soldiers inside the fort surrendered to the Confederates. Legions of men from north and south rushed to their respective flags in the ensuing patriotic fervor. The war ended in spring 1865. Robert E. Lee surrendered the last major Confederate army to Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Crossroads on April 9, 1865.
This was all for today, class. Thank you.